Hello everyone, this is Curtis with Weed Whacker Lawn Care. Hey, I'm back again to share another video with you in this new year of 2025 on how I survived the lawn care season after lawn care season. Uh, I'm gonna share this information. Hopefully, it may help someone who's thinking about getting into lawn care or that's already in lawn care. Now I'll tell you my story and my journey and how I survived doing lawn care. And I must say, I've done it, I probably got over 30 something years into doing lawn care. And it was a journey. I must say, it was a big journey year after year of getting out there and grinding and hustling and just getting a lot of customers taken care of, getting their lawns all, cleaned up and all, year after year. Well, what I would do every year when a new year starts, I would get all my information together, look at my database, start sending out, years ago what I would start sending out, I would have these calendars made up and I'd have my name and address and information on there, my contact number and all. So, once they said, well, hey, we need to get our lawns taken care of. Well, they look at that calendar and my number is on there. And I would get a lot of calls from it and get a lot of businesses. Now, what I would do is gather a lot of customers in certain areas that I knew that were profitable customers that would pay. And they lived in some nice neighborhoods. I want to say some more of the upscale neighborhoods. I mean, those are the neighborhoods that you go in and you're going to get that $50, that $80 lawn care mowing every week. You get them on the schedule and you're going to have some good income throughout the lawn care season. So what it is, you got about 6 months. And hopefully if you have well, you're not gonna, I never did, but hopefully if I could, you would get 6 months where there's not a lot of rain a little bit and then it's off. But sometimes you may run into a problem where it's a drought. It don't rain at all and it's just everything just turns to dust. There's nothing to do and you're like, whoa, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna survive? Nothing to do, everything is slow. Well, you have to get prepared for that type of, that type of task. It will come. And you'll be wondering, man, what am I gonna do? Wow, I ain't got no lawns to mow, ain't nobody calling me, the grass is not growing, what am I gonna do? Well, guys, what I would do is when something like that would happen, I'd always have like something else to switch over to, like cleaning up or fence work, or it's just something. People will always be looking to get something accomplished around the house. I mean, as far as planting some new flowers, cleaning out that old flower bed that has some grass in it and they want to get some mulch put in. And you would do that and just, oh man, it was so many tasks, so much. People always wanted this, wanted that. And some of them will want you to remove old mulch and then they want to put some new fresh mulch in. So, hey, I would take it on. I mean, they always looking for something. Or some old tree stump that's out in the backyard, they want to get that grind up or removed. That's another job you take on. Or you get some of these lawns that, I don't know, it's just out of control. The property was rented, the renters didn't take care of the property and they let it just get out of control. And like, okay, somebody call you, you explain to them, hey, it's gonna take some time because it's out of control and your renters left a lot of stuff behind and hey, you need to get this all hauled off. And they say, well, how much? And you give them a price and they're like, okay, I can deal with that. I can do that, and they just go on and on because people study moving, coming and going. And you will get more and more work. I mean, If it ain't mowing lawns, it's gonna be doing something. Or, hey, can you pick this up for me? Can you haul this off for me? That's the kind of stuff that I would get into, stuff that being piled up. Now you got to be careful with some of this stuff, because sometimes you can get into a property where it's some old debris that has been stacked on the side for X amount of time, and sometimes you may run up on a snake den. They have rats and all kinds of stuff in there, and you got to be careful on those, because you don't want to get bitten by a snake, or you may get into some spiders. And some lawns have a lot of spiders, and you got to be careful on that. Now, I got bitten one time by a spider, and it dropped me to the ground. I don't know what kind it was, but I was working fine, and I went out, and next thing I know, I went to make a step, and I couldn't feel my leg. And luckily, I came through. My leg swelled up on me, and I don't know what it was, but I know it was a lot of spiders running around on the ground, and I'm thinking, I can move through it. But luckily, I had on some long pants and all, and I don't know what kind of spider that was, but it got me. It took me, I fell to the ground, and I survived it. But before, I had been working all day, and everything was fine. I was running, mowing lawns, all listening. Things happen. And so you got to be careful on that. I always keep you some water and keep you a first aid kit. Keep that with you at all times. Keep you some gloves with you, glasses, safety glasses. Always a hat to put over your head and all. Now, these, I'm telling you, survivor skills, how I survived lawn care when I was doing it on a daily basis, and for earning an income and trying to, stay busy and sticking with it. Because it gets hard, guys. It gets hard. Sometimes I met a lot of guys, they say, oh, they're gonna do lawn care, and they get in it for about a month or a year, and next thing you know, they quit. They give up. I was like, man, don't give up. It'll work as a fight. It'll work out if you stick with it. You just gotta stick with it. It gets hard though, and I understand having a family and having bills and trying to make a living by doing lawn care. It can be a journey. It can be very, very, very tough. Because sometimes things don't work outright. I mean, you got to deal with weather constraints. You got to deal with thieves stealing your equipment. You got to deal with customers that don't want to pay, want the service but don't want to pay. And you have to be aware of that. You got all different kinds of personalities you just got to deal with. Oh man, I tell you. I mean, they'll even sick the dog on you. I'm serious. They have dogs and stuff. Oh, here come that guy. He wants to get paid for lawn service. They'll sick the dog on you. I mean, hey, it's just all kinds of stuff you got to work with. But you can't let it get you down, because you got to be familiar with those situations there, that you have those types of, what can I say, people that's going to behave a certain way. And not that you've done anything wrong to them, but they're just having some hard times in life, and they're frustrated, and they just, I don't know. I can't find the words to say, guys, because I dealt with a lot of them. People married, getting a divorce, cheating on each other. I would hear all kinds of stories and stuff about why they couldn't pay their bill. Why did you, I remember it was a lady started out with her husband. The husband got me to come over and mow the lawn, and they paid a few times, and then he introduced me to his wife, and then his wife, had me mowing the lawn, and she asked me to, one day she saw me across, and she mowing another lawn, and she says, hey, Curtis, when you finish that lawn, can you come over and mow my lawn? And I'm like, well, okay, sure. So I go over and I mow the lawn and all, and I was like, okay. I finished up and everything, And I went there. She says, "Oh, you finished?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I finished your lawn." She said, "Well," she said, "Well, I need you to come in here. I need to talk to you." I was like, "What? You need to talk to me? I'm on. What do you need to talk to me about?" I'm like, I'm ready to go. She said, "Well, my husband met this woman on Facebook and ran off with my money." Well, didn't you know that before you asked me to mow your lawn? Well, yes. And I said, "Well, why did you have me to do it?" Well, it needed mowing. And next time you come over, then I can pay you. That never happened, guys. It's something else that happened, and I was like, "Oh well, that happened." I mean, all kinds of stories that I don't know. I get involved with it. It was. I can't even tell you all the stuff I went through, but I went through some stuff doing year after year. For is sticking with it and surviving it and not making any money and just going under, going under and just coming back up all the way up, just bringing yourself all the way back up. But when it's good, it's good. And it was times I had to work. Really work 7 days a week running to, as they say, make ends meet to make this work. And I stuck with it. And I learned that, hey, when you have some good weather, you better get it all in. You better work. Don't turn down no type of work because you may not get that opportunity again. Tomorrow it may be raining. So you be like, well, I'm glad that I worked Sunday. I'm glad I worked Saturday because I needed to get all of that in. And it gets old doing it, but if you want to survive lawn care, you have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. And when you're doing it, you have to feel like, well, I don't mind doing it because I know the reward behind it. And if you work it right and you put your time in right, you will be set at the end of the lawn care season. Here in Texas, well, you can almost work to December sometimes, but sometimes it may not. It may back off in September and October. You'll get a little bit. You may get a call here and there, and you may not. It just depends on how the weather is. If the weather gets cooler and the grass goes into a dormant state, then it's just going to shut it down. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get any more work. You're just going to get some work. Somebody will call you off and on. Hey, do you think you could come get my lawn? And it's gonna probably be the last cut. And you're like, oh, okay, if I'm around. But if I'm not around, I'll be like, no, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get someone else. I'm through. It's the end of the year, and now I'm on vacation. I'm out of town, and I won't be back until sometime next year. And I could do that because I had a good lawn care season, and it was like a good 6 months vacation for me to take time off. But I had to work up to that. I put in a lot of time to studying and figuring out the strategies and marketing. It's like, man, I need to take some time off. I'm just tired of mowing. You get tired. Running here, running there, picking up stuff here, picking up stuff there, and just grinding. And by doing that, it's going to make you learn you got to save your money. You better save you some money, because if you don't save some money, and when October comes, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. And you don't want to get that way, because the bills are going to keep climbing. Insurance, taxes, and all of that, you got to pay. So you better be out there hustling and saving. It's like right now, the beginning of the year, this is when you do all your marketing. Reach out to some of your customers and see, hey, if you can get them all together. I always like to have an area within a 5-mile radius where I can take care of X amount of customers. Each time I finish a lawn, then next 5 minutes I'm in another lawn. Next 5 minutes I'm in another lawn. 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes I'm in another lawn. I keep them all together so that I don't have to run here, run over there, run over here, and you got traffic. No, you're not making any money. You're not making any money when you're on the road over here and there. You're making money when that mower is staying in the lawn. You make money when your tools are at a distance, well, what I want to say, at a location that you can be moving some derbish, doing something, picking up something. That's where you're making some money. You earn your income. But driving long distance, you're not gonna make a lot of money. You got traffic, weather, and all. You're gonna burn up more than you can make. And you gotta have a reasonable rate because, like I say again, they may wanna sick the dog on you because they feel like, oh, that's too high. And you're gonna have to be running up out of there. It's one of them big dogs out there after you. You know what I'm talking about? He be licking and be running and with his tail wagging and his tongue hanging. You know, I don't feel like running. I don't want to be dealing with none of them dogs. I've had some I had to run out on. I mean, I had to run and leave my mower in the back because the dog had broke the fence, the pickets in the fence, and came through there on me. I was running. I left my mower and everything. I went and I told the homeowner, I said, hey, your next door neighbor dog came out broke through the fence after because he heard the mower running. And it was like, man, I was running. I was like, what the heck is this? This big old dog with these growling teeth. It was two of them. I was like, oh, Lord. Oh, not today. Not today. And there wasn't much I could do. I was on the mower, but I was like, man, let me get up out of here. Let me get out of here. So, man, the owner did come and get his dog. I managed to finish mowing that property and get away from there. I said, I don't want no more of that. I had my heart, and you know how your heart is going, you be pity-pat, man. You be like, oh, no, I don't want to go through that. That's scary. Let me get up out of here. And